You are listening to the Free to Be Mindful podcast, which invites you along on a journey to learn of mindful living, grow in mental health, and inspire through personal growth. In a world where we can often feel much stress and overwhelm, this podcast provides bite-sized tips and real talk conversations, empowering you to embrace mindfulness and nurture your full potential. I'm your host, Vanessa De Jesus Guzman, licensed therapist, retired educator, entrepreneur, and mom of two. I'm passionate about helping busy moms reduce the overwhelm and to live life intentionally without losing their, here we go. Hi, and welcome back to the Consult a Counselor series. In this series, I answer parenting-related questions so that you can reduce the overwhelm, find joy, and to live life intentionally. Today's question is, the new school year is about to start. How can I help my child manage her anxiety? Well, as a former educator of 18 years, I know that the start of the school year brings a lot of excitement. For some, that excitement translates into high energy, and then for others, that excitement translates into anxiety. Here are a few tips to help. First, when talking to your kids, listen more than you speak. Very often, we as adults want to drown them with advice. And oftentimes, our kids just want to be heard. When we do more listening than we do speaking, we also engage in less judgment, which may lead our kids to share more with us in the future. The second tip is when we do this listening, we want to make sure that we're acknowledging and validating their emotions. Sometimes we as adults may want to minimize a situation with good intentions, like, don't worry about it, or it's not a big deal. But by letting your child know that it's okay to feel anxious, worried, or nervous about starting school, we do help them feel better. However, we want to make sure that we don't diagnose them by saying, oh, you just have anxiety. We all experience a variety of emotions, but remember that only doctors and therapists can actually diagnose anxiety. So we want to use words like you're feeling nervous or worried. The third tip is that when we get all caught up in our feelings, we typically forget to focus about or on the positive. And the same thing happens to kids. After listening to your child, instead of telling them all the great things there are about starting a new school year, you can just have them highlight the positives by asking them for the silver linings, or what I like to call at least statements. That way, we're not telling them everything, but they're picking these things out for themselves. The fourth tip is that when we start a new school year, there is a lot of excitement in the preparations, meaning new school year or new clothes. So plan some time to do those things together instead of just purchasing the things for them and leaving them out of this important time. And the fifth, when we think about it, going anywhere with new faces can definitely be overwhelming. Whether you're new in town or you've been there for years, it helps when our kids are connected to others in their school. That can look like attending a new student orientation or having a play date with friends they haven't seen all summer, or by just staying active throughout the school year in extracurricular activities to help with the following school year. When I meet parents, a saying that I often think of is apples and trees. And this leads me to the sixth tip. And what I mean by apples and trees is that children often mirror or imitate their parents' actions without even realizing it. And if you are feeling a lot of nervousness or a lot of anxious thoughts for your child, chances are that they may be picking up on that energy. So, like the saying goes, be the calm that you wish to see. And the last tip, how do we become calm or get calm? Well, we need to learn how to handle our big emotions through coping strategies. It's really easy to say, but less easy to do, especially if you don't know any off the tip of your tongue. So, for big, overwhelming nerves, try moving your body. And then for less intense, worried feelings, there you can try those breathing techniques. Do you really know how to calm down when stress hits? Or maybe you're looking for ways to help your kids relax, but you're not sure where to start. These are common issues for my kid and mom clients. And after years of providing bits and pieces from other resources, I have finally created a comprehensive resource for my clients and for podcast listeners like you. This free resource provides you with 120 coping skills to navigate big feelings. This guide is filled with simple yet effective strategies to help you manage emotions and to help you find peace. And knowing that oftentimes a list just isn't enough, with your download, you'll also get access to a series of supportive videos which will guide you on how to use this resource and show you how to put these strategies into practice for everyday life. So are you ready to make that change? Click the link below to download your free guide. It's time to empower yourself and your children with the skills for a happier, healthier life. Sometimes it can be tough for kids to see themselves overcoming what they perceive to be big challenges. Connecting their feelings to characters that they see on the big screen, like Riley and Anxiety from Inside Out 2, which I saw this summer and was phenomenal, or if they connect to characters in literature, like those pieces that I highlight on the SEL Book Talks on my YouTube channel, that can really help normalize their feelings and it allows them to see that it is indeed possible. So I hope this helped. If you think it could help another mom or dad friend, be sure to share the video with them and hit subscribe so you don't miss the next video or the next podcast episode where you can also find the Consult a Counselor series on. And remember, in a world where you are free to be anything that you want to be, you're always free to be mindful. Thanks so much and catch you next time. I hope you enjoyed this week's show. It would mean a ton if you took this moment to review the Free to Be Mindful podcast on the platform you catch your favorite shows. That quick and easy act lets me know what you enjoy, and it helps others find the podcast too. And of course, don't forget to subscribe so you can listen along next week. In the meantime, I welcome you to catch me on social media at Counselor V De Jesus. And as always, remember, in a world where you are free to be anything that you want to be, you are always free to be mindful. Catch you next week.